I can generate it.
Okay.
It's really good. It's like I read mine and I was like, how do y'all know me?
No, we just need your
phone number,
name, your to tell us. Like you can write it on paper, but we need your we need to be able to send it to you. But name and then birth time, birthplace.
Okay.
Send yours, Mackenzie. Send yours.
In exchange astrology birth chart readings. I mean,
you do that?
Yeah, I'm very much on that path in depth, and I'm currently studying.
I like that.
I'm currently studying with what I consider to be a master teacher. So I'm learning the fundamentals and the science of it.
Oh, so you could do ours?
Yeah,
like,
in terms of
you guys don't even understand this whole thing.
y'all like experts at everything.
Y'all like know the self, study the self. In a different way.
Yeah, definitely getting into that right now.
It's funny.
I was in astrology, I was into human design on a podcast, and I was like, I've heard of human design before, but I'm like, that's kind of crap. And then after I listened to it, I was like, wait, that Manny Janet sounds like me. So, and then I learned about it.
Heard from someone, the guy that created human design, he spent like days in like a room where he just like channeled everything.
Okay.
It was Ra'u.
He was like directed to certain systems and brought them all together.
The way that I got into human design.
Okay, I'm like, I want to look
the way that I got into human design technically before she introduced it was there was this person, she was a woman. I thought it was you actually. Like the way she would speak and everything, I was like, I wonder if this is Nita. She's like anonymous, right? So I was like, she said she's a doctor. So I was like, is Nita a doctor? Because if she is, I think this is Nita. But anyways, this person would tell me, like it was like she has the same chart as me, just coincidentally. And she made up this concept called the Throne of the Spoken Yes. And it's based on my chart, like completely. So I was following it, and that's when we got like our viral video. That's when we started all that.
Wow.
Just from following it. And it was like it was like 5 days of following it. So I was like, wow.
And then he was making another game, and then Simon, if you know them,
they're famous YouTube groups. Like they interacted with my game.
Yeah.
Like super easy.
And he wanted them to play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
My teachers.
That's so brilliant. Like it's on point. Like when I found out that I was a reflector, everything made sense.
You were almost born on the 23rd.
Reflector, right? I thought you said projector.
I'm like me being a reflector. It just like because I didn't understand how come I can be around somebody, I can duplicate their energy or choose whether I want to even engage.
You said it when you were talking about I've been around this person, I've been around this person, and it's like reflector. That's a reflector. My brother is a reflector, and Mr. Beast, I believe, is a reflector as well. But my brother was just talking about like how he went to a Discord server and just learned how to do where he like resells things. So like he just adapted it and then he just making money. And I was just like, you went into a Discord server and you're just able to do it. He's like, yeah. I don't even want to be around a Discord server. Like I would never just go to the people that do it. Like I'm an experimenter. So like I want to just trial and error and figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just goes around the people and he just gets it. So like
there's a lot that I can't say.
Like that's literally the most helpful thing for me is like I sit with people, I learn from them, and like I just see if it's worth integration like afterwards, you know. But a lot of times like there's stuff that you can learn from people that you don't even know that you can learn from people until so much later down the road.
You mean when you went to the 200 accountants, you're just like, yep. I would not be able to do that, like just point blank. I need something to respond to.
That was the Jehovah's Witness in me. Because when I was a kid, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. We went door to door. So then when you go door to door, you get rejected quite a bit, right? So after that, when I was a kid, I started babysitting and I would go door to door to my neighbors' houses and projects and tell them, you got a baby, you don't go to work, you need a break, right? So then they would let me do babysitting. After that, I did model scouting. And model scouting is what got me into car shows and record labels and stuff like that, right? And I was just a kid. I started scouting when I was 12. So that being around people, but I had to like just sit with people, ask as many questions as possible, and then afterwards I'm like,
Today is
I know this shit better.
You
Yeah.
got the dates.
Even better, yeah.
You know,
That's
chat, right?
that's
You
exactly what Mr.
recommended
Beast and my
it.
brother say all the time.
You picked one of the
Yeah,
most
because
divine
like
dates.
Because
most of the time
Mind
you
we
do
would have
know it.
had
It's just
other
you haven't
options.
had the
And I was
vantage
like,
point to
okay,
see
after
how
the
well
new
you
moon
know
in
it in the first
Aquarius,
place. So
like
you actually
towards
have to
later
speak
in
to
the
other
year,
people
I'm
in
like, I
order
hope
to
that
see
they go with that
where
one.
they're at, and then
Because
you're
I'm
like,
I don't
oh
feel like the
shit,
lemons
I am an
before.
expert
And
in
today
this,
we're
Mhm.
having
but
that
I'm not an
Venus
expert
and
in
Pisces
this,
season,
and
very
this person
Cancer
just filled in
season.
the space for me.
Right.
So there's
It's one
certain
of the most
spaces of
beneficial.
expertise you can't
Oh,
even
yeah.
get
That
to.
makes
to
sense.
the other
For me, like all I
energies
needed
in
was a
the
partner, and that was
almost
good.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I'm split
murky
We're
definition.
both
waters or
split.
Yeah,
so
we're
it
both
it's
split.
helps.
spicy.
But you're
Yeah.
no definition. So
Today's a
just
really beautiful
anyone
alignment
could
to come
fill in what
together.
you need to know. That's
Yeah.
like why it's so
Like,
interesting. I learn new things from talking to her.
I learn new things from my Uber driver.
Venus and
That's the most
Pisces
reflective thing I've
No.
ever heard.
Yeah. I'll sit down with my Uber driver from Iran, and that man just gave me like a wealth of knowledge of what I can do in Iran now. Like, I can sit with almost anybody and figure out like what's. But as a reflector, I used to get taken advantage of in business is because of that. Because like people can see how quickly I adapt and I can master something. So they'll have me come in and fix the company, master it, and then take me out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But after because it's been happening since I was a kid. After the first few times it happened, I would put fail safes in every single thing that I would do. So I'm just like, you gotta kick me out, but you ain't gonna know how to work this shit when I leave.
That's right. That's right.
So like, if you're gonna leave, if you're gonna use me, you gotta make sure you get the locks.
So, wow, yeah. Cave environment. Valleys.
Oh yeah.
Like literally the other day, there's like a area by my house right next to the forest. It's like a straight line, 2 exits on both sides, and then both are like kind of walls off by the houses and then the forest. And then like since I'm Neuro Valleys, I had a headache. I go to the Neuro Valleys, headache gone in like 5 seconds. I was like,
do you have any questions?
like it's just crazy. Like this,
anything
when she was talking about how the cooking brings like in the kitchen brings her like
I don't
just like
think so
bliss,
necessarily.
like clarity and everything.
The way I
Like for me, it's the Neuro Valleys.
like
Just being able to hear all the
astrology is
ambience of all the sounds.
whatever
That's so
I'm
cool.
meant to
Yeah,
know
so
or be
it's
aware
really
of
funny
in
that
the
there's a Neuro
moment.
Valley right next to
Will
my
be
house.
fine.
It's right there.
It's like your soul knew.
I've
Yeah.
never wanted
Like,
to,
what do you do
always
with the
try
caves
and
when you're
dig
like
for
craving
anything
that?
or try to know
I just
everything.
lock myself.
I'm like the
I don't
person that
necessarily
lives
have any
inside like a
perfect
little like.
questions.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
no, that's
Yeah,
no,
sorry.
wait, but
That's
that's
funny.
because you're in
I'm
dark
like
light.
totally a researcher.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
caves,
no,
caves
I'm not that at
still,
all.
like you're
I-
supposed to have dim lights too.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like for me it goes hand in hand. I have dark.
I find
And I
whatever
wanna
hole I
I
can
wanna say
crawl
too,
into.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's normally my room, but I like little. He doesn't like that
Don't-
word. And
It's
oh, okay. I like
here at 6
okay. Don't
It's
say the
at the
word.
top of the
Keep
chart.
that word.
Yeah.
Those
You know,
things are-
it's so funny because that's what your name means, right? So hidden.
Sun's descending.
Huh?
Sun's
Yeah, that's what your name
Don't
means.
say that. Don't tell me that.
That's
Wait,
what
so
his name means.
your brother's name is Darnell,
Yes.
and his name means
Hidden N-O-O-K.
hidden N-O-O-K.
Maybe you gotta change
He's the
it.
cave. He's the cave that you fell in love with.
No.
His name literally means cave.
No.
Oh my God.
That is funny.
Hidden.
In 2020,
He doesn't like the
I
word
hate
no.
that word, man. It's just such an annoying word. Like,
And that's literally what Darnell means.
oh my god.
My brother's name. My brother's name is your name. So I'm.
Spelled the same. Is it spelled the same?
It's not spelled the same, but it's the same meaning. Yeah, it's the same meaning. It means hiddenness.
Like, no, you get.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
But
That's the
is
worst
that
thing
is
to
that
hear.
hilarious? So like
That's
you
hilarious,
crave
though.
caves and
Yeah.
he's a cave. Yeah, for myself, like I like literally just find anywhere I can hide and just hang out there. Like my partner, he's gotten so used to it. There's like times where we first were dating and he would try to get me to go to the club and I'd be like, I'm so tired, and I hide in the back seat and like get in this little ball and sleep. And then he would just be like, am I supposed to just leave you? And I'm like, yeah, go to the party. And then he's like, no, I can't leave you. I'm like, no, go to the party. I'm gonna sleep here. But once we realize like it's a pattern, I'm gonna just keep falling asleep if I don't want to go in somewhere. So he's like, do you feel like you want to go here? Like, because if we go all the way here and you tell me vibes are off, I'm going to sleep. I don't know how to function.
Areas of my life, like love, areas of fear, stuff like that. I'm really good
Let's see where this is.
Shift for the better in
An internal evaluation then. Is it just you have your own accountant that works for you?
So basically what you would do is you would organize it all on your own first. Okay. Like even if you go to the bank and you have $800 and you got to put that $800 into the bank, you should probably count the $800 before you put it in.
Yeah, I saw
you should definitely count them. Make sure you have $800 that's going into the bank before the bank tells you, oh, this was only $750. Right? So you should always count your stuff first. Do your due diligence to make sure everything is counted first. Then you bring it to the accountant. That's why we do this step first. Then we bring it to the accountant because the accountant doesn't make your number for you.
Yeah,
you just write it like you wrote that you.
So I went through. I had to make. I have probably about 8 declarations. So
yes, but
my declaration trail, he can look at and he can be like, oh, this went from 20 million, 100 million, 30 billion, 400 billion, trillion. So he can look at it and see all that, right? He can't dispute it because the paperwork's there, right? The only person that would be able to dispute it is like, say, CRA, if I'm getting taxed, or an underwriter. Right? An underwriter would work for CRA, or it could work for a company, or it could work for like a government. Underwriters are all across the world. They basically they're the second half of what an evaluator is, right? The underwriter will look at all your assets and then they will determine like, okay, this is correct. This isn't correct. This needs to be fixed, right? And then they adjust numbers, but their valuation is still not the same as the self-valuation. So the self-valuation still stands, right? So that's one of the things about it when it comes down to like finance and all the stuff that we're kind of told, oh, well, this person has to do this and then that happens. There's nothing that actually exists to do this stuff properly. Like Forbes might look at your books, but Forbes, it can't tell you that you're actually wealthy. They can't determine that. All they can do is look at your books. Right? So, but that's the whole thing is you would think that there's somebody when you hit a particular threshold, they will look at your books for you, but they can't. Banks even can't look at your books fully by policy. So like I could go I tried. One bank told me to print all of my stuff off. I print $30 billion worth of assets off for this person. Wasted so many trees. Okay. And he legally could not look at it.
Wow.
They're not supposed to. There's certain policies
so who is?
No one. No one looks at it. That's the biggest issue.
So we have to.
You have to.
And then we give it to
you give it to the CPA. So we're gonna skip the evaluator step completely because like I learned last year, you actually don't need an evaluator.
So then
they're actually
that be
expensive.
Evaluating?
You're self-evaluating. And then your CPA will go ahead and go over your books. Okay. And the CPA will work with the IRS or CRA directly. They go over your books with an estate lawyer. Okay. Then that's why you have your numbers already done. They go over it and then they bring that to the CRA. And whatever you're going to realize is what's most important. They don't even care about the other money. Like they don't care about people's net worths.
Yeah.
They don't care about it because it's unrealized. They only care about the realized money. So like a person can be walking around worth 500 trillion right now. And if it's intangible, they don't care. Right. They're not even going to bother that person.
So if they realize it's in a trust, and they're essentially trusting you to
disperse it.
Oh,
that's what the disbursement is.
About, right? Remember?
Wait, what?
You were telling me that like a trust is basically a trust. They're gonna trust you to disperse whatever you're trying to realize out of your net worth. But your net worth intangible, they don't really care about.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And there's so many different types of trusts. There's lots of different trusts, and each trust, like there's hundreds. Okay. Yeah. But here's the thing: there's hundreds of trusts, but then you start to find out about Ecclesiastes trusts and stuff like that, right? And then you're like, wait a second, how did this happen? Who created this? How are people creating trust? You can create your own trust. Right. So that's what we're doing. We're taking all these assets, you make your own trust. Okay. So right now, how everything is considered informal. When it's all on your papers, it's all done like that, it's informal. It does not mean it doesn't exist. Okay. There's a difference between something being formalized and something actually not existing, right? The money's already there. The wealth is actually already there. It's just not liquid cash.
Right. So that's the hard part, is liquidating.
That's the hardest part, because you have to find the mechanics within that asset class that will unleash that money.
So basically, is it finding a way to make it make money, or is it different than that?
So basically with the asset, say like I go ahead, and if it logs out and you want to still come back in, you let me know, okay? You'll just, like, when you sign back in, I can see that you went in. But basically, when you have your asset set up and you have your trust and everything set up, remember, each asset line is going to be considered its own trust structure, okay? It has its own information on the ledger line. You'll see that there's going to be 16 lines on the master ledger. Each of those 16 lines is what they look for at banks. They look for at the government. And when they read it, then they can say, oh, this kind of money right here, this asset, say, I want to give like $1 billion over to New Orleans for something, right? So I go ahead and I say, well, I want to spend it over 100 years. Okay. So then I'm thinking about the value, the revenue, and everything that's going to be generated. I can pull from future revenue. Okay.
So you pull from future revenue without having
to ever touch the principal.
And like, it's like, in order to make it make money, sometimes you need to use money to make it make money. So you could just pull from future revenue to use it to help it actually make the money.
So, and this is why I said about layering your assets. So the different assets that you already have. So for myself, I use my music, right? So for Andrina, she would have her scripts. Morgan, he would have books, stuff like that. He can then use those assets and the contracts that we have. And then we're saying there's a revenue stream, because now we've created revenue stream. When banks and CRA and all these different ones, the finance ministers, see that you have a revenue stream coming in, that's a future revenue that they can use, right? It's almost considered like a bond in that way, because they know that money will be coming back to them guaranteed. When you have something like a book, it is an evergreen asset, okay? When you have a song, it's an evergreen asset. These are assets that will always make money, right? And the thing is sometimes they might not have a lot of attention, right? But there's a difference between not having attention and not yet being exposed, okay? If you are exposed, then that's when you can have the full fruits of your labor, right? So we would say like a Starbucks, they're in their exposure phase. That's why so many people can go to Starbucks. You can find them on every single corner. They're exposed already, right? But if I'm a small time coffee shop and I have an idea of this coffee shop and I'm only in one place, I'm not yet exposed.
Right.
Okay. So you can't look at my business the same way that you would look at Starbucks. So you have to equate me differently. You would have to grade me a little bit differently. And you can't be like, oh, well, she'll never reach $1 billion having this small shop. You don't know if I'm about to be the next Booster Juice. Right? So that's the thing. It's about taking your assets that you have, the things that you already do own, and you're setting it up so that there's revenue streams put into your ideas. Okay.
Right. So it's like basically, like, I'm having trouble understanding how you could get money from something that doesn't make money yet. But then I'm just thinking about it in the way of, well, I mean, if I had a video and my other videos made money, so there's value there, they can give me money because I'm projected to get them these much views. So technically, it's making money before it even exists, right? You kind of have to think about it like this. Like a pharmaceutical company, okay, if a pharmaceutical company wanted to make money in order to sell the drug, they didn't give it to nobody. They went through their trials, they do their trial runs, then they have to take the paperwork, and then they have to get in advance so that they could distribute the medicine out. The advance, so they're pulling from future money, but like, what's So
was generating the money?
No, okay.
Yeah.
Like with the video specifically, because I'm a YouTuber, so that's like that's the best way I can understand it. When I think the reason why I'm having trouble understanding it is because my past videos had views. So because they had views and they were recent, the sponsors can take, I guess, a gamble on what my next video, how it would perform. It could do better than they expected. It could do worse. But the point of the matter is, I'm technically getting advanced money because it's not like they would have known how the video is going to perform.
But that's how it works. So then we're not trained to think like that.
Right. That's the thing that's messing me up. So you're saying I can advance something. The reason why I can advance my videos is not because they made money. It's just because I can prove that they can make money. Is that what it is?
It's actually a step further. Everything that you make is already valuable.
Okay.
Everything you make already has an intrinsic value in it.
So the proposal is proof that it has value?
The idea itself, you are an abundant thinker in this world of no ideas. Okay? People will pay you lots of money for your ideas through licensing, through different agreements, right? There's revenue streams that you don't even fully understand yet, right? But the bank knows. All these people know all of these revenue streams that will come off of licensing. In order for someone to use your idea, they have to license it, right? So there's multiple streams, right? And that's why when we make the proposals, we say, okay, I'll have merch here, I'll do audio here, I'll do video, visual here, all these different assets, right? That's why we do that. Because
we're essentially like claiming the idea. Because like we know ideas are valuable. Yes. People would pay for them.
And this is what people do the whole time.
Just take it, right?
Yeah.
So then this is the way to own it.
Yeah.
And you can even advance from your ownership of your ideas.
So think about J.K. Rowling. Do you think that like when she did her like first few books and she already had the books done, that then she would have to go then take money from the sales of those books in order to make the next book?
That's how I think. Is that not the way?
No, that's not it at all.
Okay,
she would get an advance for all of the deliverables that she brings to the table for her publisher.
Hold on. Say what I thought it would be again, because I'm realizing that's literally how I think. Like I'm thinking, like I guess you would say I'm thinking in the Mr. Beast way. Like first video needs to make money so that I can make my next video. But you're saying no, first video has to be valuable, and I can just advance from the next.
You are the chicken, you're not the egg. So you're supposed to be giving out your eggs. You're not supposed to be giving out your soul. Okay?
Right.
Don't put yourself in the fryer. So the thing is each egg that you produce is an asset. Those assets work on you, like work for themselves. You do not have to sell anything of yourself, right? The entire thing that like we've been built around in the amnesia is that we have to had something in the first place in order to even play.
Yeah.
That's not true.
But who if something can generate revenue, who sets that up? Do you set that up?
So it would be your different forms of distribution that you're setting up. So
we're technically setting it up, but we don't have to actually execute it to advance from it.
So you don't have to advance from it, but you have to show where it's coming from. So like Spotify is a revenue stream for me. So I would use Spotify on it. I would use SoundCloud as a revenue stream, right? You see, like how we're doing with the game. Your game, my music playing, I can use the telemetry from that. That covers itself.
So, right.
But who executes it?
We have to. We're the enforcement. That's the issue with the entire creative economy is that we don't have any enforcers yet. So we have to enforce it.
So what does that mean? Enforcers are the people that would potentially buy the ideas?
So you have to have your contracts done. You have your oversight with your fiduciaries. You set up your family office. Family office, all of us together on paper is strong enough to enforce something. So when you are an entity and you've built the entity up as a family office and people can actually see what's existing, right? So one of the things I learned with the bank, they have like this thing called KYC, right? Know your client. And they will research everything to do with your life so that they understand how they can work with it. If it's not out there and nobody knows and you never put the information out there, they have nothing to perceive, right? But if you go ahead and now you approach it like you are a Congress library and your website is set up with everything, all the books are put here, the assets are put here, they can go and they can make sense of it. And then they can do all of the different mechanisms that require the funding, the contracts and everything like that. But for them, they have to see something operating. That's for me, like one of the biggest advantages I was at was because I had everything out. I couldn't have done any of this if I didn't have the music out in the first place.
Right.
If I didn't have that, they wouldn't have talked to me.
So then you have to have it tangible?
You have to have,
or you have to have something tangible.
Something you own.
Right.
Something that you own. And you might not even realize all the stuff that you own.
Yeah.
You might not even realize
my
it.
channel.
Can it literally be your, like your channel or like
my channel has 140,000 subscribers.
That's an asset.
And I just don't view it like one.
Yeah, it's an asset.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
and
an
then
asset.
our account has 30,000 followers.